Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your monthly psychic tarot reading. Welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. So let's dive right in. Let's look at the energies of the month of May. We'll be looking at the overall energies of the month, hidden blessings, what you're leaving behind, how to get the most of your month, what's supporting you, and what to be mindful of. So let's get into it, shall we? All right, Capricorn, the overall energy of the month is the Ace of Swords in reverse. Injustice, lack of communication, injustice, uncertainty, a lack of certainty. Feels like this lack of certainty, lack of truth. It feels like it's getting to a space. It feels like it's a splinter, and you've been able to ignore a lie, deception, and it's kept you in a stalemate position with Two of Swords. It feels like you're trying to make a decision. You're trying to figure something out, but it's almost like I'm afraid something about the truth. The truth will set you free, but there's also fear of seeing the truth. It looks like interesting. It feels like something around a relationship has died off, some type of timeline. Feels like you're leaving behind that confusing timeline. Your willingness to examine uncomfortable truth, or being able to have uncomfortable truths instead of believing what you're told. It feels like I want to see the truth of this, because it feels like you've been stuck and unable to move on because of some type of deception. It looks like in the month of May, Capricorn, that you get some type of new inspiration, new energy. It feels like you've been waiting for this, something that is exciting for you, something that lights a fire in you. It feels like it's not only a fire like in your heart, something you really desire, something you really want, but it gives you so much, like the possibility of this, that suddenly you have a lot of energy, access to energy. You're willing to take action on whatever this is. It feels like it's been a while since you've felt this type of desire. There's something that doesn't transform, or that hasn't transformed. It feels like for the month of May, Capricorn, it feels like you're really learning how to be more balanced in your masculine energy and feminine energy, not stuck doing, but allowing yourself to be as well. Feels like you're bringing in more balance, more harmony, more love for yourself. For those of you who are seeking partnership, it looks like you are this healing that you're doing internally, this balance that you're creating. It's like you're setting yourself up for love, if you're interested in a relationship, or if you're already in a relationship, then it feels like there's a deepening, healing connection coming in. Wow. All right, Capricorn, let's look at your hidden blessings. Four of Cups. There's something you're not feeling anymore. There's something, it just, maybe at some point you were interested, you loved this, but it doesn't feel like it still has the same hold on you. It looks like you are wanting to manifest yourself out of a nightmare situation. It feels like you might be feeling a little like nothing is interesting to you. If, it feels like there's a lack of interest in much of anything. Like it's because you're tolerating an environment that is a personal nightmare. Sure, you could, I mean, it's not that bad, but I feel like you're staying in some situation or something that you wake up from a nightmare and you're still in the nightmare. And it looks like you're wanting to change this. You're wanting to manifest out of this kind of doldrums and not liking where you're at. It's hard to get excited about anything because of your environment or who's around you in your environment. It feels like you're ready, like it's gotten uncomfortable enough that you're ready to make a move, and that's what the blessing is. It feels like you can, Capricorn, it feels like you tolerate a lot. You are really good at tolerating being in a nightmare scenario, and it feels like you're giving yourself permission to enjoy your life, to go for what you want. You're realizing it's very difficult for you to walk away from anything where you have emotional attachments to. It feels like that's what's keeping you. It feels like there's some type of you keep waiting for someone or something to change, but all that's changed is you. You have reshaped who you are to fit into this nightmare scenario. And it feels like there's this pressure point where you get to where I've had enough, and only you will know when you've had enough. You know, nobody else can make that decision for you. And it's a very powerful decision point, deciding what you want, what you're worthy of, and to release that you're not going to get your soul fulfillment out of wherever you've been staying. It feels like you've been doing everything you can. It is not for a lack of effort. You are not a quitter. If anything, maybe it's time to learn how to walk away. Maybe it's time to learn when you've had enough instead of tolerating nightmares. So, all right, what you're leaving behind, justice. It feels like this is not like you're leaving something fair and going into something unjust. It feels like you leaving something behind is justice. It feels like you've been carrying relationships or holding on or trying to make something work and staying in a nightmare, and it's justice when you finally realize that you don't have to stay. It's also an act of self-love with the Ace of Cups. It's a radical expression of self-love that's coming through by seeking justice and fairness, taking action towards it, loving yourself enough to not make yourself stay in an environment where it feels like a nightmare, where it's not for you. It also feels, yeah, what you're leaving behind is people who treat you like an option. Like they don't really care if the relationship goes forward or not. They've got other people, they have other options. It feels like you've been treated like an option, and because of not really knowing your own value and worth, you've settled for people treating you really poorly. It looks like you've been through a lot of depressions and maybe chronic depression, and also a lack of clarity, a lack of being able to be happy where you are. It feels like you're a plant. That's snoring. That from Chuck. He's right behind me. It feels like the unhappiness. Well, lost that one with the snore. Okay, what you're leaving behind are liars, deception, people who... Ooh, you're leaving behind someone who's a bit cold and abrasive, poor communicator. You've learned a lot from where you're at, and it feels like you've got a beautiful heart, Capricorn, very loving, very caring. People are nurtured by you. And it looks like you're leaving behind people who just come in and take. There's also this mean girl energy. Oh, that's what you're wearing. It feels like there's someone who is around you that you're leaving behind in the month of May, who just is like kind of death of 1,000, 10,000 nicks or cuts. You know that? It feels like they just can't say anything nice to you at all. It feels like there's an unconscious agreement that you just absorb and you just take it. It feels like this person it cannot be held accountable for what they say. It's you that you can't take it. This person lacks personal accountability. I love that you're leaving that behind. That feels soul crushing. Staying in an environment, it feels like you might have a little bit of CPTSD, chronic PTSD, learned helplessness. Like, I've been in this environment so long, I've accepted the abuse and the pain for so long. This is just my reality I live in. You've lost the ability to remember, or you're gaining back the remembering that you don't have to choose this. You could leave this behind if you would like, if you so choose, whoever this is. And it feels like it could be a group of people. Sometimes it feels like it's one person in a relationship, but it also feels like the people around you have not been very supportive. Interesting. All right. Capricorn, let's look at how to get the most of the month of May. Letting go. 4 of Pentacles. Letting go of... whoever and whatever you are attached to, clinging to. It feels like you don't believe that you could find any better, that you're clinging on to the very thing that's creating your injustice. It feels like you keep trying to get justice, but you've been exploring injustice. So this isn't the right place to find justice. This is the lessons of around injustice and things not being fair and no new opportunities. I think you're starting to realize that your environment has affected you like a plant. That's where I was. Like a plant, it feels like you So if you're a plant, you are in this environment that is not for you. The other plants, there are some plants that can thrive in that soil and that environment, the amount of light, the amount of water. But it looks like you kind of, you have different requirements. Your soul has different requirements. And nothing new is going to come in. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to rescue you. This is like an internal job. The call needs to come from inside your house. And your house being you, inside your spirit. No one can convince anyone of this. It feels like if this is resonating, then you're like, yeah, okay, this is validating. But I don't feel like I'm convincing anyone. I'm just giving you the validation that this, you're not going to, if you're still enmeshed with these people and these kinds of people, it's blocking your ability to have new beginnings. Enmeshed, yes. And it's hard to take action. It feels exhausting also. You might be depleted right now. You might feel like, I don't have the energy to make any moves because I've surrendered everything to try to fit and try to make this nightmare work. All right. What's supporting you, Capricorn, in the month of May? Hot dog. Look at that. It feels like you have more support than you know. Friends, family. Who is the group? It feels like it could be a small group. It feels like as you're disconnecting from and leaving a group, you're realizing you need a safe space. You need friends. And it looks like you've got them in the month of May. It looks like your friends, family, whoever this is, they love you so much. This is such a specific message, but I'm going to go ahead and give it. It looks like some of you might consider yourself star seeds. You might be interested in the star Sirius, the dog star. It looks like you have some friends that are not only loving and caring and compassionate around you that can support you, but they've got some type of wisdom. And it feels like you, as difficult as this is, it feels like your energy is run down, but you're ending this cycle. It feels like once you start letting go of people and relationships that aren't for you, that you would like to let go of, that are not for your highest and greatest good, then you end this exhausting cycle. It also feels like your friends help give you energy, they feel very supportive, like they're willing to do whatever it takes to get you to wherever you need to go. This is beautiful that you have these type of friendships. Looks like the universe has put you in a stuck position so you can see something clearly. It feels like you've seen this, the inconsistent energies of the people around you. Now these messages are kind of starting to circle. It looks like there's this player energy and third party. It feels like you put people first and they put you second, third, fourth, last. Feels like you have a habit of putting people first in your world, centering them, but they don't center you. And that those following, being attracted, going through those experiences are kind of creating heartbreak for yourself. Be wary of creating beliefs about yourself that there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. Or like, people don't love me, or that's not true. That might be how you're feeling, how your emotions are making you feel, but that's it. And even if you do, you're like, no, that is true. Do you want it to be true? Do you want to prove to yourself again and again that you're unlovable and that nobody loves you? Or do you want to explore that I'm lovable and people love me and support me? Wow. You have a lot of also energetic support. It feels like things are getting so imbalanced in May. It feels like a bit purposeful, honestly, energetically, so you will stop tolerating. So it gets to a point where you're willing to take action, to not abandon yourself, but to show up for yourself and take action. It feels like there's some things you're learning in the month of May that, and it's getting to the pressure of being in the nightmare scenario is getting too much. It feels like you're at least getting ready to take action. Wow. What to be mindful of in the month of May, Capricorn, is Six of Wands. Wow. Public success, adoration. You are very loved and cared for. I can feel that. It feels like you've got people around you who are good, and you also have some people around you who are toxic AF. Yeah, you've got people who are very successful and also are cheering you on and they want your success. And then you have people who are stingy. They breadcrumb you. They feel entitled to your energy. They feel like they, yeah, okay. It feels like pretty obvious here. What to be mindful of are those who don't reciprocate, those who are just wanting to get what they want, versus those who, it feels like you're trusting how you feel around people. Are people happy for you? Are they communicating? I want to see you succeed. This is fantastic. Yeah, you're letting go of a timeline that was very painful and deception, and instead you're Three of Cups again. You're wanting friends, real friends, people who can celebrate you. The Three of Cups is a picture of three women celebrating the harvest. So it feels like, boy, this is big change in the month of May. Separating from and going towards what you want, what you would prefer, allowing yourself to heal. You've learned your lessons. You've learned a lot about that Capricorn energy. You've learned a lot about addiction, about the trappings of the 3D world, codependency, toxicity. You're ready to let go of, I think you've had enough. Only you will know when you've had enough. But it feels like you're getting to some type of choice point where, choice point where you're a fork in the road, And it does seem like you are choosing to be around those who love you, those who support you, those who want to celebrate you, and you're moving away from those who don't care about you. It doesn't matter what they say, it's actions. So if someone's like, but I this and I that and I done, that doesn't, it feels like you're trusting yourself. You're making some big boy and big girl decisions in the month of May, Capricorn. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and take this over to Patreon for an extended. If you're still watching and this has really resonated for you, we're going to continue on Capricorn and look at health in the month of May, relationships, creativity, new opportunities, and career and finance. So I'll meet you over there. Have a great month.